Morning guys, what's going on? Today I want to show you my 2023 pressure washing setup. Still rocking this 96 Dodge Ram. I got a truck skid, pretty much basically the same as it was last year, but I'll just do this for my own purposes. Got a cheap washer hose, cheap garden hose, like 45 bucks. You can see these lines here are getting pretty bad on this hose here, but it's still not broke through, but that's going to have to be replaced before too long. But I got 200 foot of soft wash hose. I run it on a cam lock, so I just pull off what I need, hook my cam lock up to it. I had it hard plumbed once, but it rotted all that out in no time. The bleach did. I run a shut-off valve. Let's see, what brand is that? Hydro Seal. I think it's like 15 bucks. I love this for pre-treat. The only problem I have with this is doing videos and trying to video and shoot at the same time. But besides that, I love being able to crack that valve open and pre-treat and do roofs and whatever else I'm doing. We got 200 foot of, well, that's about 180 foot of Polybraided hose. My shut-off. This hose reel here, I have a general pump. I don't know what size. I think it's a 12 maybe. It holds like, it's supposed to hold 300 foot of hose of 3/8. I don't see how you could get another 100 foot of hose. I have 200 on this, and then if I need any more than that, then I'll just store it down here, or I'll put it over there in that empty section. I have this one here is the Suttner hose. I get them for Pressure Tech. And this is the HPC hose. It was out of this one, so I went to this one. I'm just trying it out. It's smooth. This one's textured. And that's really about the only difference I've noticed in it. And I've only used it on 2 jobs, so I'm not going to do a review on something after just using it 2 or 3 times. So I'll use it a few times and kind of give you guys my thoughts on that. I use a Suttner 2305 gun. I've had this now for about 4 years, 3 or 4 years now, and I've rebuilt it twice, and really no need to buy another one until this one just completely wears out, because I have a backup wand if I need it. If I was on a job and this one just crapped out altogether, I could finish the wand and then get another gun. But I just buy the repair kits for these for like 15 bucks and go about my business. Here I got a 5.5 Everflo pump. I got it wired to a Everstart battery. I think it's a D28 battery. Have quick connects on here to charge it. Just on and off switch here. It pulls from that side, goes up, and then like I said, I can lock it onto my hose. Here is just a cheap it's a air hose reel. I keep 75 foot of garden hose on it. Normally that's way more than I need. I've only had a couple of jobs in the last few years that I needed more, and I just, like the regular hose, I just kept it here, and when it was enough, then when I needed more, I just pulled it. But I just keep like 75 foot on there. I do have the high pressure hose. I do have it plumbed, so it's plumbed straight to the pressure washer. This is a Simpson. I think they call it a power shot. I got it at Tractor Supply. It's like $8.50 on sale. I have this right here is my valve for soft washing. When I have it turned this way, it's pulling this way. It's pulling from this side, so that's the way I flush my pump when I'm done. The way I'm putting in chemicals right now, I use that. When I'm ready to pull from my mix tank up there, I just pull it down this way, and then everything starts pulling from that hose there, Polybraided hose. Like I said, this is a 4 gallon a minute machine. Sorry for the wind, there's a big rainstorm coming. 4 gallon a minute machine. Keep the oil changed in it. Keep everything up like it's supposed to be. Like I said, I have it hard plumbed downstream. So my mix tank here goes, I have one tank for chemicals, and I mix it 50-50. So it's 50-50 when I'm downstreaming, and I downstream it through here, and that's this little hose. That hose right there is for the soft wash pump. That's what I use that valve on. I just turn it on when I'm ready to pull, so I can pull downstreaming from the same mixture, and I can do, when I need a stronger mix, soft washing, whether it be a roof, driveway, brick, whatever, wood, I pull from the same drum. So one drum for all of it. I keep a little shut off here, that way I can open it up and pull the water through the gun and not pull chemical when I'm trying to get all the air out. Then once all the air is out, I open that up, and then we're ready to go. Let me show you my surface cleaner. Now in here, this is my old crap box. If you're going to be doing any kind of business, you're going to have one of these, especially with pressure washing. So I got fittings, True Blue, oil, different tips, rebuild kits, my shut-off valve, different picks, tape, fittings. You need all this stuff. You need male and female fittings down here. You need different fittings for your soft washing. If you're going to be plumbing it yourself, you need tape and seals, or pipe thread. You need rebuild kits. That shut-off valve, it's amazing when you're doing driveways because you can cut it on and off. I don't like it being on the whole time I'm washing a house. It just makes the gun too heavy. I keep a bunch of clamps. That way I have plenty. Have some reducers for my gun down there, right here. Those two reducers are for the soft wash gun. That goes from 3/8 to 1/4, I think, something like that. I can't remember. 1/2 inch to 1/4, 1/2 inch to 1/4. That way I can fit 1/4 inch fittings on it. And that's it for my old crap box. And I don't keep this in the truck all the time, but this here is a General Pump Hammerhead 20-inch surface cleaner. So I have it hooked up here. I just hook my ball valve in, shut it on and off. This has been a good a good surface cleaner. It's just 20-inch. It's a little too big. You can use it. You can pre-treat and use it. And I've done a lot of concrete with it. But I think for a 4-gallon, you really need to have a 16. That way you can just go right along and not have to worry about putting so much chemical down. Last year when I did concrete, this season's just getting started, but last year when I did concrete, I had to pre-treat and post-treat, like the last 4 or 5 driveways that I did, and I didn't like that. I mean, I'd much rather just go ahead and spend the money on a different surface cleaner that's going to clean better than to have one that's not made for the machine. Now my skid, I have in here, it's just wood. I measured the bed and just pretty much made like a pallet in a way. Now the one thing that I wanted to do, and it just worked out this way, to do it this way, is I wanted the shelves, instead of being here, I wanted them over here. But I was still doing lawn care, and I could put my shovels and rakes and things like that over here into that. So that worked out. So if I decide to get a washer or a mixer, and of course I'll need another tank because I'll have soap and water or bleach and water, what I'll end up doing is just building the rest of this out and pushing it over this way, so the reels will set here, and then I'll just put a tank right up there beside of that one. Like I said, this is a 4-gallon a minute machine. It's been good. It has a AAA pump. It's given me a little bit of issues here and there, and maybe in my fault. I may have been staying off the trigger too long, but for the price, it's made a lot of money. Obviously, if you're in the business, you want to get the biggest and best you can get. That way you can get through your jobs in and out. So, like I said, this is wood. It doesn't have any paint on it whatsoever now, except like right in here. When I built this, I think it may be like 1/2 inch plywood. When I built this, I sprayed it, but of course, sitting out in the weather, the bleach, in and out. And if you're wondering why I leave this so I don't have nothing here, is I still get my drums in 55 gallons for the bleach. And when I go to the chemical company, they'll come out in their tow motor. I put the tailgate down, and they put their 55-gallon drum here. So when I get home, I just transfer it off to my empty. So that's why There's nothing here. That's where the surface cleaner goes when I'm using it. I just strap it to the pressure washer here so it doesn't move. I have the surface cleaner there. That's where I put my drums. The other day I was doing a roof, took a whole lot of mix, so I just put an empty drum there and filled it up so I could pick off of 2 different drums. And that's about it. So, you know, it's very simple. You see a lot of guys on here and they have, like, you know, 2 or 3 chemical tanks and 2 or 3 pressure washers and 2 or 3 surface cleaners and backpack blowers and 6 hose reels and, you know, all this stuff. And I'm not saying any of that's bad, because I'm an equipment junkie. I like equipment too, but just to be doing residential houses like I'm doing, you don't need all that. You just need your basics, and that's what I have. Not to say that it's not good, not to say that it's bad to have any of the other. You know, if you can afford it, go ahead and get the bigger stuff. But, you know, for me, this works, and that's what I like right now. You can tell them the last few times I've used it, I could feel the cracking in that when I was pulling it up. But I mean, heck, this hose right here, this hose is set out in the weather for the last 4 years. Through the winters, summers heat, winters cold, and if it messes up now, you know, it'll still be worth it. You can see this underlining down here. You can see a big difference between this, because this has been shading it. So even if I took all this top piece off and cut it, all that would still be good. But that's just that right here is like an old 12 or 14 inch surface cleaner I used to have for the wand. I don't have nothing in these cubbies here. That's where I used to have a bunch of spray stuff for lawns, and you know, I don't have that stuff now. So anyway, that's my time for the day. Just wanted to show you guys what just a simple pressure washing truck skid looks like. We'll see you next time.